Man and Machine is brought to you by Highflex Mobile Hose Service, Shannons Insurance for Motoring Enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.
Yeah, baby!
It's unbelievable. Bring it on.
We're back in the Valiant with Aaron from Survivor Car Australia magazine. We've got another barn find. Aaron, where are we going today?
I've got a friend of mine whose family's had an old car in the garage for some time. His name's Marcus. It's his grandparents' place. It's been sitting for quite a while, he tells me.
How long?
Probably somewhere between 20 and 30 years. He can't remember the last time it was even moving, so yeah, it's been a while.
Sounds fantastic. So we don't know what it is yet. It's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, not real sure. He just tells me it's old and it's got chrome bumpers, so certainly interested me.
Well, can't wait. Let's go and check it out.
Let's go and have a look.
That's what I call an old shed.
Have a look. What do you reckon?
Unbelievable. You reckon we can take a look now? Or do we have to wait?
Yeah, no, Marcus said we're more than welcome to have a look, so let's have a look.
Awesome. How do you open the joint? That's an old Holden.
Let's have a look.
Wow. Can we lift a bit of this stuff off and check it out?
Yeah, let's just carefully take this off. Yep.
It's like unwrapping a Christmas present. Let's pull the sheet off. It's an FC.
FC.
Oh, I love FCs. Have a look at it. Grey, white roof.
Top hat, sun visor.
What a plum.
Looks good.
Looks straight too. So obviously the grandparents have had the car. They've stuck it in here and it hasn't moved for nearly
Years.
30 years.
Yeah. I think I've got an old Rego sticker over here, mate. 1993.
Jeez, that's going back, what, 20
Over 20 years.
odd years? This is the stuff that dreams are made of, mate.
Absolutely.
Fog lamps, original plates.
Yellow lenses.
You know what I'm thinking, don't you? How can I own this thing? I reckon we'd have a fight on our hands.
I reckon.
I just love FCs. They're an iconic shape. They remind me of the mid-50s Chevys.
Yeah, all the chrome, you know, the bonnet emblems, that sort of stuff. It's very American inspired.
Well, they're like a compact version of them, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
I can't believe how honest this thing is. Jeez, you wash it up, polish her up.
Yeah, to come up a treat.
Oh, it'd be an absolute plum. And you wouldn't restore it. You'd leave it exactly as it is. A
Yeah.
Survivor car. How about we check the engine out?
Yeah, why not?
There she is, the old grey. She's intact. Sometimes you see these old girls stuffed away. You lift the bonnet and there's no engine in there. It's so great to see it all intact. I wonder why it got stuck in here. Hasn't been used.
Look at those leads.
Multicolours. Great engine, the old grey. Only a little motor.
And have a look inside.
Yeah. Jeez, have a look at the interior. Oh. Have a look at that. Jeez, it's so tidy inside, isn't it?
Must be chrome grille.
They really had personality, didn't they? Style. Service sticker. Due the 1st of the 3rd, 1990, 70,000 miles. It's got 67,000 miles on it. It really has been sitting here for that long.
Yeah, she hasn't been driving for some time.
Brake pedals on the floor. Clutch pedals locked up solid. 3 on the tree. Gee, the roof lining's intact.
She'd need a little bit of reviving, I think, to get it back going again, but still probably wouldn't be too hard to get it going again.
Well, it's not too far gone, is it?
Nah. Just some odd, old sort of touches on the car, things like the dual vision rearview mirror to stop the bright lights from the back.
How's that for technology? Back in the day. Shit, I love the steering wheel too, the red, shiny Holden emblem in the middle of the wheel. They look awesome.
Yeah, the craftsmanship is just amazing, isn't it? The small sort of details inside there, it really looks sensational.
It's interesting, some of these old cars, you look at some of the old guys from years gone by, they like to put lots of little implements and messages, and we've got here, stop is the handbrake on, ... So it's a bit of a reminder, if you don't move, the handbrake's on.
That's right.
And a thermometer as well on the dash.
So a lot of modern cars these days have thermometers built in, but this has had it for quite some time.
He had it back in the day, probably from the 60s onward, I would imagine. Jeez, have a look. Everything's intact though, isn't it? All the buttons, the gauges, everything is here. The handbrake handle's in nice nick. All those things that break and get old.
Yeah, all the bright work, all the chrome parts on the door are all still present.
And you can see where the elbows have been resting on the doors.
Yeah, bit of fat arming.
Yeah, and the glove box as well. Absolutely unbelievable. The floor mat, it's all intact too. How's the red?
Yeah, the emblem here on the floor, on the rubber floor mats is excellent. It's very good order inside.
Interior light lens.
A little bit yellowed.
It's all there though. I can't believe it.
It's great, isn't it?
You know, you think these cars have all been exhausted, you think they're all gone, but they're still out there sitting in sheds and they just pop up every now and then.
Just got to have a look and ask some questions.
And then people like us want to buy them and we usually get the answer, no.
Not for sale.
So then we just go home and keep dreaming about the next one.
Yep.
How about we check out the boot?
Let's have a look.
Oh, a bit of a treasure trove.
A few bits and pieces.
Wheel trim, hubcap. Hey, are they spats?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Wheel spats.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. I love spats. Owner's manual. Jeez, I suppose you've got to be careful. We don't want the things to break up.
There you go.
Owner's manual.
The books.
Jeez.
A service book.
Oh.
Workshop manual.
Looks like she's been opened a few times.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's very tidy in here though, isn't it?
Yeah, neat and tidy. It doesn't look like there's really any signs of rust at all.
All the satin black, it's all intact. Even the boot mat, I wonder what she's like underneath. I'm not about to pull all this stuff out, but I bet you it's in pretty good shape under there. Under the parcel shelf, brand spanking. Look at the huge speaker.
3.5 inch or something.
How straight is the thing though?
She's got she survived really well. You have a look at the unusual things like the fingernail protectors on the doors, just all the unusual bits of chrome.
All the moulds are in place, all the badges are in place, all the hubcaps are there. It's really a perfect survivor. But you wouldn't restore it, would you? I'd probably recommission it.
Yeah, recommission it and revive it.
I reckon she'd polish up real well. Get the engine fired up again. I mean, it'd probably be seized up by now.
Yeah, the fuel would be like vinegar or wine.
You'd have to physically pull the engine out, pull it down.
Have a look at the brakes.
Give it a bit of a hone, re-ring it.
Yeah.
Check the bearings, put it back in, and as you said, replace all the fuel lines too, because they'll be all
clogged and blocked.
Clogged up and starting to perish. Get all the brakes working again. Everything's just going to be totally rusted and seized.
But once you've got it going again, yeah, you're just driving it like this with a little bit of character and a little bit of texture and patina, it would certainly turn some heads on the road.
I reckon it'd be great, because to restore it back to brand new concourse condition, I think you'd lose all that history.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And speaking of history, I think we should go and have a talk to Marcus about this car.
Absolutely, let's bring him in.
You know, you got to have a look at this. It's like a time capsule, open it up in the interior and all the rest of it, and it is. It's a great model of car to have.
HighFlex Mobile Hose Service, your complete hose breakdown and on-site service partner. HighFlex Mobile Hose Service offers a complete range of quality guaranteed hydraulic and industrial hose and fittings products. We also specialise in preventative maintenance programs such as on-site hose condition auditing, testing and compliance. With our national fleet of qualified technicians, you can rely on HighFlex Mobile Hose Service's rapid response to all of your needs. Call 1300 HighFlex, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Do you have a hydraulic background? Come and join the dynamic HighFlex team. Check out opportunities at www.highflex.com.au.
Shannons Club, a hub for motoring enthusiasts. So join, create your own garage, share pics, videos and stories of your current and past machines, connect with other enthusiasts. Be sure to watch Shannons Club TV with a host of dedicated motoring channels, including past episodes of Man and Machine. So jump on board with Shannons Club. I'll see you on there.
Marcus, thanks so much for having us here into your grandparents' shed and showing us this absolute gem of an old Holden. Tell us all about it.
My grandfather's car. He acquired it back in 1958. Bit of a thanks present from his sister. Thank you for helping her out in life, I believe. And from then, it's always been a part of our family. The older generations in my family, yeah, they've got a lot better memories of it, obviously. And yeah, it is. A lot of the family photos back and in the day, it's always in the background or something. And he's built a trailer for it that was matching at the time. And as kids, you remember, we'd go up the tip in the trailer. Unfortunately, he passed away, and it's been in the shed and in the family sitting here, and it's too good to let go to waste.
The car's still here today. It hasn't gone anywhere.
You look at it and the receipts, the books, everything. You know, it was. They virtually got a brand new. It was an ex-demo, so it would have been very low mileage. But yeah,
it's a real time capsule here. And how long has it been in the shed for?
Last registered 1993, and even up to those years, it was kept registered for a long time and not really driven. It could have been a couple of times a year. It's lived its whole life in this shed. You know, it was a bit of a workshop, and this house has been here for a long time. So,
tell us about the shed. Tell us about the history of the shed.
Well, this is my grandmother's property. She's still living here. It would have been a maintenance sort of workshop. They ran trucks out of here. My great-grandfather built the house. I believe it's over 100 years old.
So, what are the plans for this old Holden?
I even thought maybe I should just get it running, you know, unregistered, we'll get it up to chopped or something like that, just to appreciate the car, not ruin it.
But you are a motor mechanic, so
yes.
You could do the job.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot of people in the family are.
You're a bit of a car family?
Yeah, we always have been, yeah.
It's great to see Barnfinds and you see all types of different cars, but an FC Holden, that's a pretty epic model.
When I brought my friend Aaron over and just said, you know, you got to have a look at this. It's like a time capsule, you open it up in the interior and all the rest of it, and it is. It's a great model of car to have sitting here, you know.
It is great to see that it's been kept out of the weather. It's been so well preserved. You could almost clean the car up, get it running again, and away you go.
It's very tempting. It is very tempting to do that, that's for sure.
But what a fantastic story that was. This beautiful FC Holden hidden away in a time capsule for all of these years. There'd be people driving past this shed having no idea of what was inside. And the shed too. What an amazing story and some fantastic history that goes with it. I'm loving this old stuff. I'd like to thank Aaron from Survivor Car Australia magazine for bringing us along to see this old gem. It's been great. Anyway, stay tuned for more Man and Machine after the break.
Aeroflow, famous for our massive range of hose fittings and performance products, now includes Krypton, the ultimate in lightweight hose and fittings. Check out our new 2015 catalogue including air filters, oil filters, hoses, fittings, engine and transmission parts, fuel systems, tanks, silicone hose, exhaust, air conditioning, turbo and nitrous accessories, tools and equipment, plus all your Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny car apparel. Get your free catalogue and shop online at aeroflowperformance.com.
Damn, there's just no room under here.
There's no need to do this anymore when you can buy a Tough Lift hoist starting from only $26.50. With over 20 models in their range, including 2-post, 4-post, scissor lift, motorcycle and truck. They're great for storage too. All Tough Lift hoists have Australian standard certification and WorkSafe design registration. With an impressive warranty, in-house technical support and installation options Australia-wide, what are you waiting for? Check out toughlift.com.au.
I love my Tough Lift.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Neville Richards always wanted a Mustang. Took him 45 years to get there. Now he's living the dream.
Neville, fantastic to be here. It appears you're very passionate about the Ford Mustang. Tell us where that all began.
Glenn, it started for me when I was about 16 years of age. The Mustangs were released, and for me that just left an everlasting impression on my mind in the form of a Wimbledon white car with a bright red interior.
So that was effectively the car that Ford used for most of their promotion.
Exactly right, and I've never forgotten it. And as a matter of fact, it was 45 years since that day that I was able to achieve my first Mustang in the garage for myself. So, and that was in the form of the GT Fastback, closely followed by the convertible. So I'm very happy, but it took a long time.
And I believe you do actually have another car in the build at the moment?
Yes, I do, Glenn. I was able to get a good sound-bodied car out of the US and got that in the build at the moment, and it's Wimbledon white, bright red interior, and it's about 2 weeks away from finishing the build.
So effectively you've acquired the car that you dreamt about all those years ago, the exact same spec of car and colour and all.
Absolutely, Glenn. It's a recreation of that dream I had an awful long time ago.
Tell us about this spectacular ivy green 66 Fastback you've got here.
Yes, Glenn. It was a dream car that I had in mind for a long time, and was able to do a ground-up restoration, rotisserie build, 289 Windsor. Created something that, at the end of the day, was pretty special to me.
I mean, for me with Mustang, it doesn't get much better than the early model in the Fastback and GT, does it?
That's right. It's a fairly rare car these days. They're not that common anymore, and harder to source. So to get that one to the standard that it is, I'm very pleased with.
And I do love the red wall tyres. They offset fantastically against the green, along with the style steel wheels, don't they?
Look, just those few little extra things that you can achieve, Glenn, set the car apart from a lot of others. It's the style, and it's an absolute head turner wherever you take the car out on the road. And there's nothing better than dialing the radio into 289 and going for a cruise.
That's the best type of music, isn't it?
It's the best in the world.
Tell us about the convertible. Has it been a build, a full build?
Yeah, it's a factory restoration job, Glenn, and to achieve a convertible of that standard and a full restoration GT, I think makes it again a fairly special car.
That thing just oozes class in vintage burgundy with the white, doesn't it?
It's an absolute pleasure to get in, drop the hood down, 60s and 70s type music, and go for the best cruise of your life.
So you're going back in time?
Love it, Glenn. I prefer to buy backwards than forwards. So the best thing you can do is take the cover off the car, turn the key, and go for the best drive of your life. And when you're back home, all your worries are gone. It's the best therapy session you could ever have, Glenn.
Mustangs are fairly common amongst enthusiasts, but there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Well, absolutely, Glenn. I think that when they were first created, the style set itself to be unique in the world of motoring, I believe so.
Well, in an era where cars were big and bulky and powerful, to have a compact, small car, if you like, with a V8 would have been a pretty punchy thing in its time, and you can see why they were so popular.
Absolutely, Glenn. The style and power ratio was absolutely on the money the first time, and made them so popular throughout the world, basically.
There's nothing like the sound of that nice little growling, snarling 289 V8. Always wanted your very own muscle car or classic? Then Image Classic Cars is your solution. Where pride, knowledge, quality and service counts for the ultimate experience. From award-winning concourse restorations to full custom builds, muscle cars to classics of all makes and models, right-hand drive conversions, even Australia-wide enclosed pickup and delivery for your pride and joy. Also currently taking orders for the spectacular Image Classic Cars Eleanor Mustang, custom built to suit your personal requirements. Image Classic Cars. Live the dream. A tough car needs a tough oil, and that's when you need Gulf Western Oil. It's Australian owned, developed and manufactured in their state-of-the-art production facility. So no matter what you drive, you can be assured you're in the right hands for all your lubrication needs. Gulf Western Oil, the tough Australian. ...1966 Ford Mustang GT convertible. Presses all those buttons for me, an epic looking piece of machinery. And the vintage burgundy with the white looks absolutely spectacular. The roof down on a beautiful sunny day, I'm loving it. Absolutely awesome. Now the Ford Mustang story dates back to 1964, when the very first model was released around mid-year. It was an epic moment in time. Ford wanted to design a small, lightweight car that seated four, had a floor shift, had all types of options, and was under $2,500. Well, guess what? They achieved that, and that's where the Mustang was born. They expected to sell something like 100,000 units in its first model year. Well, they got a little bit of a surprise, didn't they? Because these babies sold over 400,000 in that first year. And within an 18-month period, they produced 1 million Mustangs. Absolutely epic success. They had 6-cylinder option, the 260 small block V8 in the very first model, stemming through to the 289 up to 1966. A fantastic little engine combination too, with 200 horsepower 2-barrel variants going through to the A-code 4-barrel 225 horse engine. I've driven them all, and the 225 horse engine doesn't make a lot more power, but it does make more induction noise. And that's what we all love, don't we? One of my favourite options was the K-code. Now the K-code was a 271 horsepower fire-breathing engine. Had a solid camshaft, bigger carburettor, increased compression, balanced internals, all sorts of goodies to make that extra power. They revved up hard and they went really well. Now, there was a huge buying frenzy when the Mustang was first released, and Ford put a lot of effort into marketing. In fact, only days before its official release, they had ads on every major network over there running at night. There were people lined up at the dealerships. You couldn't move. In fact, they sold 22,000 units in the very first day. That is absolutely unbelievable. There were people sleeping at the dealerships inside their cars that they'd purchased to make sure that their check cleared and no one else got the car the very next day. There's even a story where a guy was driving a truck, running past a dealership, got sidetracked by this epic Mustang that had just been released and ran through the showroom with his truck. Unbelievable. So they were a massive success, and no wonder. You know, as much as I love all the Mustang range, I do keep coming back to these early, more compact models. They're very nice, compact and tight to drive. Good power to weight ratio, and there's nothing like the sound of that nice little growling, snarling 289 V8. And the GT model, awesome car. Badging, stripe work, different instrumentation, fog lamps in the front grille assembly, great looking car. And don't you love this thing with its vintage burgundy, white stripes, style steel wheels? It really is a beautiful package and looks fantastic with the roof down. Imagine this,
cruising down the foreshore, down the beach on a beautiful day with the roof down. It just doesn't get any better. And driving a convertible is an entirely different experience to any other type of car. I always thought I needed muscle, I always thought I needed power. I was wrong. With the roof down, it's another world. And you want to try driving them at night time on a beautiful, clear summer night. You look up at those stars, there is just nothing like it. It is an epic experience and I highly recommend it. Man and Machine is brought to you by Highflex Mobile Hose Service, Shannons Insurance for Motoring Enthusiasts, and the following sponsors.